I get it. You scroll through endless pictures of sleek grow tents, each promising a jungle of thriving herbs or a tiny indoor orchard. And then you get the box, set it up, and the whole thing feels more like a plastic closet than a high-tech greenhouse. You've probably bought a tent before that looked amazing online, only to discover the fan was too quiet to actually move air, the light left the leaves yellowish, or the controller was a maze of buttons that never seemed to sync with your phone. That hesitation right before you click Add to Cart is exactly why I wanted to dig into the AC Infinity AI Grow System Pro 55. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, this isn't just another 5x5 frame with a lamp slapped on top. AC Infinity has built the whole kit around a small AI-driven controller that talks to a Wi-Fi app, pulls in real-time temperature, humidity, and CO data, and then predicts how those numbers will drift over the next few hours. The idea is that the system can preemptively tweak the fan speeds or dim the light a touch before the environment gets out of range. For a hobbyist who's juggling a job, a family, and a side project garden, that kind of hands-off adjustment can feel like a real safety net. Who should consider this kit? If you're a beginner who wants a single-box solution that won't leave you hunting for a separate fan, light, or reflective liner, the Pro 55 is designed for you. It ships with a 6-inch EC inline fan, a 6-inch oscillating clip fan, and a full-spectrum bar light that's sized just right for a 6-plant footprint. The reflective Mylar lining is lab-tested for light efficiency, meaning you get more usable photons per watt compared to a generic white canvas. Those 3 pieces already cover the core needs of most small indoor growers, so you don't have to spend extra time sourcing compatible parts. If you're a seasoned cultivator who already has a favorite brand of fans, a custom lighting rig, or you're growing more than 6 plants, this kit might feel limiting. The enclosure is fixed at 555 feet, and while the fans are decent, they aren't as powerful as the 12-inch units some commercial growers swear by. Also, the AI controller, while clever, still relies on the sensors that come with the kit. Users who demand sub-degree temperature stability or ultra-precise humidity control may find the sensor resolution a touch coarse, especially when you're trying to fine-tune a high-value crop. Let's talk about daily usability. Setting up the tent is surprisingly straightforward. The frame snaps together in about 10 minutes. The reflective Mylar clips into place, and the fans slide into their mounts without needing any tools. The controller sits on the side panel, and you can power everything from a single AC outlet. Once you power it up, the app walks you through calibrating the sensors. You place the temperature probe near the canopy, the humidity sensor at plant level, and the system learns the baseline within a half hour. After that, the app shows a clean dashboard, current temperature, humidity, fan RPM, light intensity, and a forecast line that predicts the next 12-hour trend based on the data you've already fed it. In practice, that forecast feature becomes handy during a heat wave. I ran a test where the ambient room temperature jumped from 72°F to 80°F after a furnace kicked on. The AI sensed the upward drift and automatically ramped the EC fan to 80% before the tent actually hit 78°F, keeping the internal temperature stable. Without the AI, you'd have to watch the app, notice the spike, and manually increase fan speed, a delay that could stress sensitive seedlings. For a hobbyist who isn't glued to the phone 24/7, that preemptive action saves both time and potential plant stress. The light itself is a full-spectrum bar that covers the PAR range needed for vegetative growth and the early flowering stage. Because it's a bar rather than a panel, you can hang it right above the canopy without worrying about hot spots. In real-world testing, the leaves stayed a healthy green with no sign of bleaching, even after running the light for 18 hours a day during veg. The downside is that the bar's intensity caps out at about 600 mulms at the center, which is plenty for most herbs, lettuce, or low-light flowering strains, but may feel underpowered for high-THC cannabis cultivators who chase the top yield numbers. If you need a light that can push past 800 moles, you'll likely want to upgrade to a more robust fixture later, which the kit's design can accommodate but adds extra cost. One practical weakness that shows up once the tent is fully assembled is the cable management. The fans and the light draw power through a single cord that runs to a small power strip mounted on the interior wall. The AI controller's Wi-Fi antenna sits right next to that strip, and in a tight space you can end up with a bit of clutter that looks messy and can make swapping out a fan a little fiddly. It's not a deal breaker,